The art of subtle seduction, not attraction, seduction. How to let them chase you again. Hi, I'm Coach Abby. Thank you once again for joining me on Love Advice TV. Love Advice TV is a channel created exclusively for you to assist you in navigating through any relationship challenges you may be facing. So, today we're going to talk about something timeless, delicate, and power. It's the art of subtle seduction. Now, how to let them chase you again, basically in a nutshell. And I want you to notice the word subtle, because real seduction isn't about chasing. It's not about being in their face. It's about being felt. It's about reawakening curiosity. It's softly. People don't chase people. What they do is they chase feelings. They chase the essence of that person. They chase the spark of how they felt when they were around that person. And that spark is basically when you were at your calmest, most confident self. They don't chase that anxious person. Subtle seduction is the ability to reactivate that emotional memory, to remind their nervous system that being near you once felt safe, exciting, and alive. Some of you may be questioning, Abby, how is this possible? Our last few encounters were back-to-back blowouts. No safe, exciting, alive memories there. That's so true. And it's not about running to prove you're better now. It's about showing through energy that you've evolved. And it's by chance, it's that moment they start to lean in again. And I refer this as the contrast principle. Now, what is the contrast principle? It's attraction lives in contrast. It's hard to wrap your arms around it because we always think that attraction is just there. It's flaunting. No, we're basically drawn to what surprises us just enough to feel new again. When everything about you becomes predictable, interest fades. Not because you're unworthy, but because there are no contrast left. They remembered you in one way and you're still that same way. No contrast. So subtle seduction, what it does, it reintroduces contrast. It's instead of reacting quickly, you pause. Instead of explaining your silence, you smile through it. Instead of needing attention, you embody self-contentment. It's not distance, it's depth. What if I told you that every person carries their own emotional signature? Yes, it's that feeling others associate with your presence. With this in mind, ask yourself, what emotions do I leave behind when I walk away? Is it calm? Is it chaotic? Is it warmth? Is it needy? So yes, at one time your signature could have been chaotic, unhinged, insecure, yet it doesn't have to stay that way. When your emotional energy becomes lighter, more grounded, your energetic frequency emits a sense of wholeness. It's referred to as vibrational evolution. By the way, what does your emotional energy feel right now? Think about it. We're usually just in a place and we don't stand and pause and say, what is my energy feeling like right now? If you're not too sure, take the free assessment questionnaire linked below. Just pause this video a minute. It's designed to help you understand how your emotional baseline and discover what energy pattern you're broadcasting, because awareness changes everything. So let's talk about the neurology of a desire. You know what I'm talking about. We've all felt it. Desire isn't logic. It's chemistry. It's anticipation. It's that something about them feeling that leaves this visual and emotional fingerprint in our hearts and mind. It's inexplicable at times. You speak to the nervous system, not the intellect. Crazy, but it's true. What it needs, it has that need to pursue. It's that challenge is a reactive, it reactivates your memory of that person but in an incomprehensible feeling of desire. But first, we need to remind ourselves that emotions are triggered through our senses. It might be a scent, a phrase, a gesture. Reintroduce those cues softly, not to manipulate, but to remind them of how they once felt around you. Wear that familiar color they loved. Appear as the best version of yourself. That's when their curiosity turns into pursuit. That's when you become irresistible once again. Now, I've developed what I refer to as the 3 pillars of subtle seduction. Now, the first is presence. Interesting enough, it demonstrates a sense of being emotionally grounded. That is so seductive. When you're not all over the place, when you're calm, you're attentive, you're receptive. The second is to add a sense of polarity. Now, what does that mean? You mix strength with softness. It's the interplay of masculine and feminine energy. It works beautifully. And the third, and my favorite, is pleasure. People are drawn to joyfulness. When your life looks and feels deliciously full, they want to be a part of that vibration again. Pleasure also says, I'm enjoying life with or without you. And we're so afraid of that without you part. But that statement is, without ever saying a word, it pulls them towards you. We always want what we can't have. We always feel close to someone, to mark our territory when we feel they're slipping through our fingers. So now let's touch on the language of seduction. And I'm not referring to French or Italian, even though I have to admit it's sort of like a very sexy language. Words matter less than tone. Seduction lives between our sentences. Slow down your rhythm when you speak. Leave space for breath. Instead of, I miss you, what about saying something like, hey, I keep remembering that afternoon. It was such good energy. You're not begging for closeness, but you're inviting memory. And memory is the universal language of seduction. There are moments also that it's best to speak the language of silence. Silence can be so magnetic. Sometimes the loudest seduction is the piece that comes from no explanation at all. Now, here's something we rarely discuss. Are you aware that your body seduces long before your words do? And I'm not talking about, the exterior anatomy. Yes, that can influence, sort of, sometimes, many times. But your breathing, your posture, your presence, they can transmit confidence or need instantly. So before you even reply or show up, ask yourself, what message is my body sending? Do I need to stand a little taller? Do I need to breathe a little slower? Should I move intentionally? Confidence is so seductive. And if you're not sure where to start, please know you don't have to figure this out alone. I invite you to book a one-on-one session with me. Together we can create a certain personalized strategy for your exact situation. Because sometimes it just takes a single perspective shift to completely reignite attraction and emotional connection. We sometimes don't see it because we're so in it, and we need to sort of get out of the box and let someone guide us. If it's not a coach, if it's not a mentor, a great friend, someone you trust, someone you believe really cares about the outcome of your situation. So once again, what I'd like is to focus on becoming the memory they can't shake. Because real seduction isn't physical once again. It's emotional memory. It's when they find themselves thinking of you while driving. They hear your voice in a random song. They smile at a memory they can't quite let go of, and they don't even know why. It is so important for us to develop this communication from afar. And that is our energetic communication, sending them memories, being present when they do reach out, but being controlled. It is so important. And that is so seductive. It is, sometimes my clients say, but Abby, no, I really need to let them know I'm just so happy to hear from them. And I say, look, I'm not saying not to show them that you're not happy, but just don't show them that you're so available, because it takes away their fun. They want to chase. They want to make sure that, they also have to move upwards to reach you. And it's counterintuitive, but it's true. I've done this long enough to understand both ways. So as we approach the ending of this video, I want to leave you with this thought. They won't miss the moments. They'll miss how they felt around you. It's not basically about, oh my gosh, we went skiing or we went this. Did that person make me feel sexy, safe, bigger than life at that moment? Because we all have been. When we are into someone, they are our prize. And many times we need to leave that imprint behind, that they were amazing, that we made them feel so irresistible. When you convey after a period that you are no longer that person, that chaotic storm that they left behind, but through this period of being, in a timeout place, that calm has followed, and that you are that same person that once made them feel like a superstar, they often look to reconnect. Think about it. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We just have to go back to that initial person that started creating memories with them, and they were delighted, and so were you. So once again, thank you for joining me today. As always, if you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe for more tips on personal growth, mending broken relationships, and everything in between. Until next time, I'm Coach Abby.